We're going to have Acting Chief Danny Hughes address the public regarding Kelly Thomas. Then Mr. Thomas will speak for 3 minutes, and then we will close that period, and we will go back to our presentations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and members of City Council, Dan Hughes, your Acting Chief of Police. In the past year, there has been a request from Ron Thomas to clear the name of his son, Kelly Thomas. The Mayor and City Council have asked me to work with Mr. Thomas in an effort to understand what that exactly means, and working with him, we have jointly agreed on the following. Number one, on the night of July 5th, 2011, Kelly Thomas was in possession of a backpack. Inside that backpack was a passport, a computer tablet, mail addressed to an attorney, and keys to a Lexus vehicle. None of these items belong to Kelly Thomas. It was later learned after the date of the incident that the owner of the backpack inadvertently left his backpack in a public place, and that the keys, the passport, and the computer tablet belonged to the owner of that backpack. It was also later determined the attorney to whom the mail in the backpack was addressed had thrown the mail away in a public trash can. There is no evidence of which the Fullerton Police Department is now aware that Kelly Thomas stole the backpack or its contents. Number two, none of the officers involved in the Kelly Thomas incident suffered any broken bones, as was initially reported by the hospital. On the night of the incident, hospital officials provided a doctor's first report form indicating a diagnosis of fractured ribs involving one of the officers, and another officer required minor surgery, but subsequent doctor visits revealed the ribs were strained and not fractured. Finally, on July 5th, 2011, the Fullerton Police Department received a report from a citizen who advised the Fullerton Police Department she observed Kelly Thomas attempting to break into vehicles. This was the only call received regarding such observations. With the exception of this report, there is no evidence of which the Fullerton Police Department is now aware that Kelly Thomas actually tried to steal anything from any of the vehicles in the lot. These were the 3 items that Mr. Thomas requested that I address in an effort to clear his name. That will be it. Thank you.
Thank you. And before Mr. Thomas comes up, I would like to acknowledge Kathy Thomas, the mother of Kelly Thomas, and we thank you for being here, Kathy, and if you would like to make any comments, thank you. All right. Mr. Thomas?
Odds are I won't get through this without just breaking down. It's been a very long process for us. Very long process for Kelly's Army. For many of you in the City Council. I need to thank Captain Hughes for working with me, for doing this. Because it's the right thing to do. 14 months ago when all this information came out, Kelly was looked at as a criminal, doing horrible things, and possibly burglarizing. Independent investigator Michael Giannacco cleared that up into different reports. But I had to hear it from the police department. Again, I really want to thank you, Captain Hughes, for doing this. We have talked many times about working together, rebuilding. This is another huge step in that effort. Once again, I absolutely do not think that the men and women of the Fullerton Police Department at this point are bad officers. I've never said that. I have no reason to believe that. I want to thank them for what they do. Recently, the person that was vandalizing Kelly's memorial was caught by the Fullerton Police Department. Thank you. I don't know how much longer I'm going to address this council. Over 14 months, I've chipped away, and with the help of so many people, even across the nation, and members of this council, even before you were council members, have helped achieve many milestones, many goals. I want to invite the citizens of Fullerton to really get involved now and continue with what I've been doing. Captain Hughes and I agree on an awful lot of things, but not on everything. A lot of the public feels there are still 3 officers that need to be terminated or dealt with. I encourage them to follow their hearts and do whatever needs to be done, whether it's protest, whatever, meetings with the chief, with the council, and do what the citizens of Fullerton need to do. It's very important to heal. Again, I guess I just want to thank everybody for what they've done all this time, especially Kelly's Army. And, you know, that includes people that have recently gone in another direction, perhaps, and are doing other things besides with Kelly's Army. For so long, they were instrumental in what they had done. So I want to thank them, too. Thank you very much.
John Huelsman, proudly speaking for my son, J. Patrick Cicinelli. 50 years in law enforcement. I finally heard it for the first time. A city council declaring a suspect innocent before any adjudication, any legal proceedings. The officers are charged. They're not guilty until they're convicted. You guys don't care. Someone puts pressure on you and you get on your knees and you bow to them. And you got a chief of police over here who's supposed to be a leader of men in uniform, and he bows with you. It's just amazing. People go section 496A, possession of lost or stolen property. No one ever said he took it. He had it in his possession. They tried to affirm whether it was his or not. It obviously wasn't because the owners weren't there. He wouldn't tell them his name. He wouldn't tell them his social security number. So they were going to arrest him and hold him overnight until they found out the next day. No, not you guys. Every one of you are so cowardly. I just can't. I've never heard it in America where city council has declared a suspect innocent before any criminal proceedings even gone. What are you guys, nuts? You can't even look at me because you know I'm telling you the truth. You're weak, and you got a smirk on your face all night, guys. I guess you love this thing. You're pathetic, and every one of you else are unpathetic. I hope your son or daughter or relative has never have to face a city council like you. You guys are so weak. You bow. I don't care. Let the court system determine the guilt or innocence, not a bunch of puppets, paid politicians. To turn smirk and say, gee, thank you very much, Mr. Huelsman. You guys are all pathetic specimens of human flesh. You have a good day.
Thank you.